Hello, and welcome to episode 44 of the Carry On with Carrie podcast. Today's guest is such a special guest to me. I'm thrilled that I had the chance to sit down with him. I want you to meet John Cameron. John Cameron is the founder of the John Cameron Changing Lives Foundation, and he's such a genuine individual. He gives back to the mental health community in a huge way. Something truly magical does happen when you meet him, and it makes a difference. He sits down with you and he cares, and it shows. I was lucky enough to meet him back in 2018, and he left a lasting impression. Along with the show Crescendo, I attended with my mom and dad and my sister, and it left me with the hope and how do I share about mental health? How do others share about mental health? And that's what people do in the show. I mean, between the music, which is just amazing and uplifting, and I get the chills thinking about it, and then the stories. People get up and they start sharing their mental health struggles, either personally or with a loved one. And it really does leave you with that feeling of, it's okay to speak up. It's okay to share. I think you'll find that through this episode. He's giving his talents to incredible causes. John supports organizations that do incredible work helping those struggling with mental health issues. He supports the performing arts, and when he takes singers, dancers, and musicians under his wing, he gives them the opportunity to showcase their talent on stage in front of thousands. The Crescendo event in Edmonton is Saturday, May 25th at 7 p.m. and in Calgary, June 15th. And you will not want to miss this show. It's I get to go with my mom and dad and my sister again, and John was so gracious enough after doing the podcast to gift us with tickets to go, and I cannot wait to see him. This will be at the Wind Spear, which if anybody has attended the Wind Spear, any concerts there, the sound is phenomenal. And it's a personal setting, so it just the entire experience is you just don't want to miss it. And so, without further ado, please meet John Cameron. Hello and welcome to the show, John. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for taking some time to chat with me.
Yes, and likewise, I'm thrilled to have you on the show, and people are going to be thrilled to hear from you. So if you are comfortable telling us a little bit about yourself and kind of your background as far as music and mental health and all that good stuff.
I started playing the piano when I was 4 or 5. We always used to go to Calgary at Christmas time, and my grandma had this great big old upright piano, and my grandma would play it. My mom would play it, and I would watch them, and I would try to play it. And that was early on. And then we moved the piano to Edmonton, so I started taking piano lessons at an early age, and kept doing that. And but then I got into hockey, and I was playing hockey and less in the music side until I started going to church, where lots of people get their training in music in a church. So. And then I started singing in 1981, 82 at the church, playing the piano, and then also conducting a choir and conducting an orchestra. And so I learned all of that through that experience. And then through the different shows that we started in 2009, right up to 2024, all the different shows that we're doing. So music's been a big part of my journey, and a big part of my healing. I always say that music's like a doctor, and when I don't feel good, I'll get behind the piano and just play, and it really calms me down. So I really enjoy playing and singing.
There's definitely healing through music. I know. And different times in your life where you listen to different kinds of music, or you have an artist or a song that, it brings back memories, and it's quite an amazing thing.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah. This past weekend, or this past week, we had our music director here from Seattle, and he introduced me to Jacob Collier, who was unbelievable. I started listening to this guy's um, he's absolutely phenomenal. So listening to him has been an eye-opening experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what genre is he?
Everything,
Everything. Okay.
voices, and any instrument he can play.
Right.
He's a savant. I mean, he can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Quincy Jones says he's the next whatever. Like,
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he's amazing.
So somebody to listen to and watch out for
100%.
sure.
Like you'll see him all over YouTube where he gets a crowd singing.
Yeah.
And he gets them all sing these different notes
Oh,
and
no.
stuff. Oh, it's
Oh wow,
phenomenal.
that gives me chills because
Yeah.
I love that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, that's the power of it, though, right?
Yeah,
And
100%.
that alone, the endorphins and all the things it gives a person when they're watching, they're in a live performance or listening to music. Anyways, I just
Yeah, I love it.
yeah, and you're right. The power of being in a choir. How many people in like their church choir? That's kind of where they get started.
Yeah.
And all of the skills that you can learn through that.
Yeah, 100%. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of great directors. Like our music director was in a church for years and years and years.
Yep.
And he's got 2 masters in music. I mean, he's very talented, and you learn a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. I wanted to ask you if you had anything in a personal sense that you can relate to the mental health side of things and mental wellness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
The reason we started Crescendo in 2017 came from an event April 1st, 1984, when I was in a church choir and service just started, and somebody came up and got me and pulled me aside and said, "We have to rush you to the hospital. Your dad is in the hospital." And he attempted to take his life. Uh, Amazing that day my mom came home early. She didn't know why, but she came home early and found him, and was able to get him to the hospital, um, and he lived. And that's the first instance of the mental health side that I saw. We never saw anything like that in our family. But then we learned that my dad's dad committed suicide, and his grandfather. So there was a path through there of mental health troubles. So the first thing my dad said when he woke up in 1984 was, "Don't tell anybody. Don't tell the bank. Don't tell the bonding company. Don't tell the employees. Don't tell anybody. We'll lose everything."
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, Dad, I don't care about all of that. I care about you, and I'm so happy that I had another 39 years with him.
Yeah.
He passed away this past April, which was devastating. I mean, the room
Sorry
we're in
to
now,
hear that.
there's his picture, and
Wow.
he's still a very part of our whole fabric here at Keller, and everybody misses him a lot. But through that, I always wanted to do this concert with a symphony orchestra, a big choir, and doing like Elton John, Billy Joel, Supertramp, Led Zeppelin, Queen, like all of these great, have this phenomenal concert at our concert hall here in Edmonton, the Winsphere. And it's phenomenal. The music, as good as the music is, and all this, the effects and the big LED walls and all of it's an amazing night of music. But the best part of it is when people tell their stories about their struggles and how they've overcome them and how they've been able to continue on. And it gives people hope. Like, people will sit in the audience and watch one of the best violin players stop and come down to the mic and tell their story.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, "What? Like that person?" Because the stats are 1 in 5 that struggle. Nah, it's 1 in 2.
Yep.
There's so many. There's so many people that just need hope and need a light that they can go, "Okay, maybe I can now make it."
Yes.
So that's why we started Crescendo in 2017, and every year we're just getting louder and louder and louder and louder. And it's okay to talk about
it. It is.
If you have a broken arm, you talk about it. Your leg, you talk about it.
Yep.
If you have a broken head, you can talk about it. It's okay.
Yep.
And I want people to know that it's okay,
Mhm.
and you're not going to be judged. So we're doing that, and we're going to continue to do that.
Yeah, it's huge. And um, I was saying to you before we started recording that I was able to see you at Crescendo. That was probably about 2018, maybe your second year. And that's what got me, was hearing the stories. And I remember hearing a story from a woman who was in her mid, like late 40s, 50s, I guess, and going through menopause, and she tried to take her own life. And I remember thinking, wow, like changes in your life that bring out these things, bring out that time of sadness and depression, and it's okay to talk about it. And when I heard her talk about it, I just that's probably around the time I started thinking, well, why aren't we talking about this more? Because I know,
Right.
yeah. Anyways,
But there's an interesting part to that story, and I heard this from other women. During intermission,
Mhm.
everybody was lined up in the washroom and wait, and everybody was talking about that.
Yep.
And they said, I didn't know that. Maybe that's what my problem. And all these women were talking about that. So that story actually made a difference firsthand. So
Oh, yeah, for sure. And even on the podcast, I've had a lot of, even for, again, for women after having babies and the teens. So it's a lot to do with those things. Yeah. So but the fact that somebody talked about it and it makes you aware of it,
yeah,
it's the only way you're going to get the word out.
because if nobody talked about it, you would think, oh, this must be crazy or something.
Yeah.
But hearing somebody else deal with it or go through that, it helps you.
Yes.
So
So much.
yeah,
Crescendo's coming up here soon, right? We're talking, it's
May 25th
25th,
in Edmonton and June 15th in Calgary.
right?
And
And
excited again, and we've got some new things we're going to do, and some new twists on the whole thing. So we're really excited about it.
you play throughout the whole thing. You're involved in the entire production,
Yeah,
or
I think I won't be playing as much this year. I don't think,
okay.
uh, but most of the time I'm on the piano, or I'm singing or just listening. So
Mhm. So, having said that, that kind of leads me into your volunteer side. You have a huge stack of experience with the volunteering in the Edmonton area and beyond. Like you said, you're in Calgary now too.
yeah.
How has that been for you, and what does that do for your mental wellness?
Oh, at an early age, both my mom and dad impressed upon me that the importance of giving back, and uh, not always taking things from people. You got to give back into society. And
Hmm.
my dad was a big proponent of that. My mom was a huge proponent of that, still is to this day. And I've always believed that you gotta put more into life than you're taking out. If you took more out of your bank account than you're putting in, you're offside.
Yeah.
And it's more important to help people. So I learned from a young age from my parents, and I want to continue to give back as much as I can. And
Hmm.
having our construction company here has been a blessing, and I'm so thankful for my dad for starting it back in 1962, and
Wow.
we've been able to continue to grow it, and we've got some great new leadership that are taking over now, and I'm slowly moving out of Keller, and it's allowing me to do these things that I think are really important in Edmonton. And I'm now involved with the McEwen University, and
Yes,
uh,
I saw that. That's exciting.
yeah, very exciting. I
Yeah.
get to talk and share my story with our future leaders, and impress upon them that you got to surround yourself with great people, but also you gotta put yourself out there and help. So organizations like the Royal Alexander Hospital Foundation, Stollery, Mental Health Foundation, CASA. There's so many different areas in the mental health field that need volunteers, and that need our help, need our resources, not just money, but our time, and
Yep.
getting involved in that. So I love doing it. Um, I love being able to watch uh, what we all do change somebody's life,
Yep.
and if we can just do it, and we see it in our shows all the time. Like our shows are I don't want people to come and go, oh, that's nice. Oh, okay. Yeah, great. Awesome. And leave.
Right.
I want them to leave changed. I want them to leave reflecting on their life. Oh, maybe I should volunteer, or maybe I should help, maybe my neighbor, whatever it is. I want them to leave changed.
Hmm.
It's not just another, symphony. Oh, that was good, and oh, maybe too loud. Oh, too yeah. No, I want the dialogue to keep going when they leave, and from all the different areas that we see, and all the surveys and stuff, we're doing that, and the singing Christmas trees coming back this year,
Which is
bigger and better.
exciting.
Oh, it's going
Yes.
to be incredible, and we're going to do it at the Expo Center in the arena.
Okay. Yep.
It's
Oh, wow.
it's going to be spectacular. So we're really looking forward to that, and just to give people an opportunity to perform on a world class stage and see them change. Like I've had people, they come out and they're shy, but when they sing and they feel good, they're different people.
Yes.
And if we can continue to do that and give people hope in this society where everybody tries to tear everybody apart, uh, we need more hope. So that's what we're trying to do in our shows and stuff.
Well, it shows, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But the Changing Lives Foundation, that's the name of your foundation.
Yeah.
And I can say firsthand, having been there, and I said to you as well, we did hair at one of the
Yeah.
singing Christmas trees, and you came in and you said hello to everybody, shook my hand, and you remembered my name the next day. And I do, not to say that just because people remember names, but I just found you so thoughtful, and it makes a big difference.
I try to be,
Those things.
yeah, I try to be relevant. I try to be just, I don't know what the word is, transparent. Like
You're just
I want to help people, and and you're no different than me. What you do on your podcast is helping people.
Yeah.
What I'm doing with concerts, helping people, and the more and more people that continue to do that, the world's going to be a better place.
Yeah.
Instead of ripping everybody apart, which it drives me nuts. But yeah, let's get on with helping people.
It's hard to understand sometimes the way the world is. I'll never understand. I was having a conversation with my son about that. I just don't understand mean. Why? I just, but I'm glad I don't understand that. So, as far as you brought up the Keller, I want to know from your point of view, as the owner of Keller Construction, and the leader, I guess, if you even want to call yourself that. But I know it's just different. People like different titles, and like you said, you're John.
Yeah.
You come in here. What is your take on mental health in the workplace?
Oh, we're a very big proponent. I mean, Keller gets involved in all of my shows. I have a partner now, Tim Coughlin. We're 50-50 partners, and he's slowly taking over, and we're going to be adding some more eventually down the road, and so I'm not going to be the guy anymore, and which is great, because what Tim has brought this company and the leadership team is incredible, and they get me too, and they get my vision, and they get my dad's vision,
right,
and they never forget my dad's vision of helping people, and we rarely lose any people,
right,
because people want to work here, because we care.
Yeah,
we just care about their lives. Like, if you're not feeling good, don't come to work.
Right.
Don't come to work. Keller's not that important.
Right.
Your life is.
Yeah.
And all of our employees know that. We have a great benefits plan that specifically can help with that. Because one of the things that our foundation found out, there's two major problems with our mental health system. Number one is accessibility. Number two is affordability.
Yes.
Who can afford $200 an hour for a whole year?
And
Not a chance.
You get about $400 a year to go to a therapist.
Yeah. No. So
in most plans.
We'll go above and beyond that to help whoever we can. And our Keller's always been a family business, and it continues to be a family business. Everybody that works in this office are treated like family. So they come to all of our shows for free. They are involved in all of our functions for free. I mean, we care about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is because, and especially because you often hear as a business gets larger and it kind of gets lost. I think it's just something. It is good to see though that it is becoming a little bit more mainstream. People are adopting that type of interaction with their employees and their team. I like to say team because that's you wouldn't be there without
100%.
right.
There's no way I could. There's no way I would be where I'm at today without everybody that is around me.
Mm-hmm.
Our team at Keller, incredible team, every single one of them.
Yeah.
The foundation, every single one of them. Jane, Manny, Dawn, everybody and that's just 3 or 4 of hundreds. Like there's the Singing Christmas Tree. We have over 400 people that are involved in that production. It's a massive thing.
Yeah.
And it's successful not because of me. It's because of the whole team.
Yeah.
And everybody's intent of getting involved in the tree. You listen to the choir stuff. They want to be involved to help.
Mm-hmm.
We always ask, if you want to join the choir, tell me why you want to join.
Yeah.
Or tell you, and then I always read every single one of them, and during every rehearsal, I'll bring some of them up. The stories are, some are so sad. The stuff that people are going through,
Mm-hmm.
but they find that they can get healthy, and they find solace in being in the choir family. They have their own Facebook page or something. Like the whole, like they just can't wait, and that is awesome.
Yes.
So
well, because you're part of something big, larger than yourself, right? And we all know that feeling of connection.
Yeah.
That just it is so important. Even if you are an introvert, when you're in a choir, and I'm a bit of an introvert, but when you're in a choir, you feel like you're part of something.
It's your family.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'll come to like rehearsals. Let's say the rehearsal starts at 1 on a Saturday or Sunday. I don't know what date they are this year, but I'll come at 12:15, and there's 80 people already here 45 minutes before it starts because they just want to start talking to me, and it's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about, okay, I ask all of my guests this question, but what is one of the last best things you do every night before you go to bed?
Pray and just give thanks for what I have. Yeah. Give thanks for my family and for the ability to do what I do. And if there's anybody I'm just thinking about, I'll just send a word of prayer for them, and just how grateful I am to have another day to do what I want to do, and that's make this world a better place for each person that I come in contact with. Does that happen all the time? No, and I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm a saint, and I don't know. I get mad when I'm driving down the road too, and the LRT construction and stuff. Like, we all go through all those things.
Yeah.
But I always try to check myself, and I'm just very thankful for what God's given me and where I am today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, if you can leave anybody with just a last message of hope, and I know you've given so much already, but just what would be one of the most important things you could stress to somebody who's either going through some mental health issues, has a family member that's like yourself that has gone through, like, what kind of hope can you?
Well, it's so cliche, but never give up. Oh, never give up, really? Yeah. Because there's times when I don't want to get up. There's times when I don't, and people go, "What? Like, you don't want to come here? Like, what? What?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I find myself looking, so what, never give up. Okay, John. Well, I do want to give up. But I do really mean that. Never give up. There is hope. There's going to be change in our mental health system. So never give up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give in to the naysayers. Don't listen to the naysayers. Don't just surround yourself with people who fill you up instead of drain you.
Yes.
So I guess that's does that work?
It absolutely does. 1,000%. It's trust your gut and go with what feels good. I think we forget about that. It's so simple,
Yeah.
right? You go through a dark time and you think back, well, why was it so dark? And if you add this, and this up, oh, okay, well, maybe I don't want to go through that again, or
Yeah.
right?
Because tomorrow when it comes, it's a different day. The sun comes up and it goes down and it comes up.
That's right.
Keep going.
Yeah, it's 24 hours. You
Yeah.
can get through this.
Yeah. Thanks, Carrie.
Thank you so much, John, for being here. I really appreciate it. You took time out of your day to do this. Again, it speaks volumes. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was another amazing episode. And, I'm sitting here editing and listening back to the experience that I had sitting down with John. And this last year, the reason why I started this podcast, it was like May of last year. So we're coming up to almost a year. And I did it out of love and passion to get the word out there. And it's come with some struggles this year. And despite those struggles, I've still tried to get as many episodes out as I can. And I appreciate anybody who takes the time to listen. And I am getting emotional right now because it does mean a ton to me. And the fact that I was able to, like a year later, speak to somebody that helps out so much. I'm so thrilled to have talked to everybody that I have. Like, everybody adds a story and does it with love and just with the intention to do good. And that's really what it's all about. And that's what I'm hoping for. And I'm sorry if my voice is shaky, but it's going to be real. And I hope you guys got as much out of this episode as I did. I know I always say that too, but I truly mean it. And if you want to check out the Crescendo event, you please just take a look at it. You're not going to want to miss it. It's happening again. I'm going to kind of give you the info. Edmonton, May 25th. And then in Calgary, June 15th. You can order tickets on the website at johncameron.com, or you can head to the Instagram page for the John Cameron Experience, John Cameron ENT, or on Facebook at John Cameron Changing Lives Foundation. So yes, please check it out. Get inspired, listen to some amazing music. If you got something out of this episode, and if there's something that you would like me to highlight or share on a future episode, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me on Instagram at carryonwithcarrie_podcast, or on Facebook at carryonwithcarrie podcast. Please take some time, give back where you can. You never know who's going to need it and if it's going to make a difference. And that's my hope, is to reach just one person at a time.